We are
Yo, 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 yo. Yes,
live.
we're back again. I don't know why it
Guess
feels
who's
like it's been
back?
so long.
What's that?
So I don't know why it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah,
It's been a long week. Maybe that's what it is.
it has been a very long week.
A lot of hard work.
Yes.
Sleepless days.
Days,
Yes.
woken nights. It is.
Welcome. Welcome back to the Joystick Jungle podcast. I'm your host, Jason Johnson, with my co-host, Brian Clements.
What's up?
Yes, and today we're going to be talking about the human, race as technological advances and influence from nature.
Yeah.
Where we get most of our ideas.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and I 99%. I wouldn't even say that. Probably 100% of our ideas are nature based to some extent, or have some type of influence by nature.
Something we've seen, tried to recreate.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna take a deep dive into it because I like this podcast, this episode and what it's gonna be covering. I'm wondering, like, something around like Tesla coil. Where did that come from? How did he get the idea?
Yeah,
Isaac Newton and the physics of gravity. Like,
I mean, it has to. Like, I know that
that's an apple, so that's nature.
I mean, I know that like in electricity and stuff like that, right? It comes off of lightning. Yeah. I mean, that is one of the prime
natural
examples.
Phenomenons.
But like, there's so many animals too that have electric currents. I know that there's some type of like a squid or jellyfish that's like 72 miles long and has,
my goodness, yes,
like batteries for hands and stuff. Yeah, like, I mean, so everything, when it comes down to it, there's some example. Like, we didn't just come up with this, but it's I don't know. I just think that everything has something to do with nature. I'm going to step up for a second. For some reason, our TikTok, I just got a message that our TikTok stream is not working. So I'm going to grab my phone to make sure that we can get it
no problem
running. But you keep talking. I will be back in 2 seconds.
I would love to. I wonder how well that would work out. Because I was sitting here today, doing my fishing, daily due diligence, outside, enjoying nature. After it rained today, it was weird. We had like a flash rain, quick windstorm, and then everything was all bright and sunny and hot outside. But I caught this massive crappie today, and I had, my guy here, Brian, come out to the dock and see it and record it for me. See if I can get this on camera. Thing was huge. I thought it was a bass at first, and I realized it was a crappie. It was absolutely amazing. Best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, it was massive. He was like, I caught a 20-inch crappie, and I'm like, that seems like a fisherman's exaggeration. And then I'm like,
it was
actually it is
girthy boy.
100%. 100% accurate.
That takes back to my original vision of the pond. I don't know what Brian's vision was, but when I first got here, I was just like, wow, this could be like the perfect trophy pond.
Yeah.
And there was pretty decent, good, decently sized bass and a couple decent crappie and some bluegill. But last year they just really boomed. Everything was really growing and doing great. The bass were huge, the bluegill were huge. There was a couple good sized crappie. And then there was that monster crappie. I only saw it 2 times. And one of them was recently. I had hooked into it and it ended up getting off at the dock because I do a lot of live bait when I fish.
Yeah.
And to prevent, fish harm and everything, I bend my barbs down.
Yeah. Okay.
So, another trial that I commend trout fishermen for is barbless hooks.
Yeah.
You can lose fish so easily.
Oh, absolutely.
If you don't set the hook, you lose a fish. If you set the hook too hard, you lose a fish. It's just like, you really have to learn the art of angling.
100%.
Become a true fisherman.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, and I mean, I've watched, I mean, you talk about true fishermen. I think my prime example of a true fisherman, 100, goes straight to Jeremy Wade, right?
Yes, 100%. Jeremy he was my Wade. Idol. I wanted to be him when I was little.
But he also uses all barbless hooks for like 90% of what he's fishing for, because he's not fishing to keep anything. He's fishing to, I don't know, for science. So
for science. I just love, his storylines for most of his episodes. It was unfortunate. And I really, feel him being the GOAT, the legend.
Yeah.
Just because his show was discontinued because he couldn't catch any more fish. And I was like, there's no way.
He's legitimately caught every fish known to man.
Yes. Every serious deal out there has been caught.
That's crazy. So I don't know why TikTok is not working.
Just not doing
well
today.
It says that I have been bananaed on TikTok. Which
no, thank you.
It says I have to reapply. My live access has been suspended. So I don't know what I did to get bananaed on TikTok, but I got bananaed for some reason, which just means that we've got to get your
yes. I was just about to say, as soon as we get some free time coming up, we need to get that live access.
Oh, 100%.
Because I have it for YouTube. That's nice. I can go live on there, but I can't go live on my TikTok yet.
Yeah, and we're live on YouTube right now. So if you guys are joining us from YouTube, send us like your funniest emote, or I don't know.
Funny emoji, a good joke.
Whatever emoji you send, Jason is going to replicate.
Oh, wow. That could be fun.
And dangerous all at the same time. No. But anyway, so I'm going to stop playing around with TikTok trying to get that to work, because apparently I've been bananaed. So yeah, let's dig into Built by Nature, Defense and Flight.
Yes.
We can change it.
And be like, Built by Nature, Defense and Flight. I honestly think that if we were to do a whole podcast like this, there's who doesn't want to listen to this? It's just the funny thing.
Oh man. Okay. Back to seriousness. But yeah, so tell me, 2 animal superpowers, strength and flight.
Yes.
And how we're still trying to catch up. Explain to me a little bit about this podcast, about this description / title.
Yeah,
and how does that apply to Joystick Jungle?
So today we were talking about, the human race's technological advances and where we get these ideas from. And with that, the 2 main, I'd say like big achievements that I would say a majority of, society, knows and really recognize would be Kevlar. Our military. That's like, what's the word? Like what's it?
Bulletproof.
Well, yes, bulletproof vest. There we go.
Yeah,
we kind of need that for our military.
100%. Yes,
the U.S. takes pride in our military. We need to protect our men.
Yes.
And with that, bulletproof vests come in the idea of Kevlar.
Okay.
So the origin of Kevlar, it was developed in the 1970s and used in armor, sports, and aerospace.
Yeah.
So that's even NASA. Wow. I just think about it. That's incredible. But we ended up getting this idea from spider silk.
Okay.
It is, I think, the 2nd strongest material on Earth.
Yeah.
Another one comes in being snail shells.
Okay.
Oh no, snail teeth. That's what it is.
Snail
teeth? Yes, snail teeth.
I didn't know snails
harder
had
than
teeth.
Diamonds, and they're like the most indestructible thing in the world. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredulous.
I legitimately had no idea that snails had teeth.
Well, how do they bite? Crops. I had to really think about that.
That's a good point.
How do they bite things?
Why do they need such strong teeth when they're just eating all of our leaves?
Yeah, and our cucumbers and tomatoes.
Them little pesky snails.
Yes. Shout out to Turbo. I love that movie. But
yes, that's a good movie. It really is.
Anyway, get back to spider silk.
Yeah.
They say, theoretically, with the tensile strength of spider silk, a strand of spider silk the size of a pencil in diameter could hold a jet in place.
Okay.
Potentially. It's a theory.
I mean, so question. So is spider silk spider web? Like if you walk into like a strand of spider web, like all spiders, all of their webs are made out of silk, right?
Yes,
It's not
silk,
like a specific spider that has silk.
No. All spiders, make webs, and their webs are made out of spider silk.
Okay, perfect.
The strongest, spider silk is from the golden orb weaver.
Yeah, okay.
Something we could kind of compare to that. We have a lot of garden weavers, around the house,
which are incredible. I love them.
I don't like walking into their webs.
Oh no, yeah.
They are indeed very indestructible.
Yeah.
They're sturdy. Walk into it the wrong way might pull your head a little bit, but that's just the strength of the strands.
Okay.
So there's like, if we could replicate the strand strength into a textile.
Yeah.
So then they made the first Kevlar fabric ideas into fabric able to stop a bullet.
Yeah,
basically. Really get into it. It was the biomimicry focus, taking the spider's unique mechanic, their way of life, and adapting it into something that we could use in our way of life.
100%. Yeah. Well, and I will say, I mean, a perfect example, like, and it really kind of like shocked me, is when I was hauling hay the other day. There was a spider web that had been built from the cab of the tractor to the exhaust on the tractor.
Oh wow.
And I was like, okay, this is gonna fall off in like 2 minutes as soon as the exhaust starts to get hot. But the reality of it is it lasted for like 3 hours. And I'm like, that exhaust has to be like 400 degrees at this point. And it's just like, yo, what's up? Like, I'm just
here. I'm spider silk.
So
cracks me up. Not to hop off topic, but just real quick, I think spiders are the most adaptable creatures on Earth, besides like the humans, because humans are fairly adaptable. We've put our staple on this world, really put our mark on it. But spiders, I feel, are the most adaptable because they occupy every niche there is in nature.
Okay.
Besides fire. I mean, a lot of things can't really, fire. Fire's fire. But spiders can swim, they can fly, they burrow underground. I feel like those are the main three elements: earth, wind, and water. And then there's fire, of course, which everything dies by fire. But I feel not many animals can really say that they've, conquered 3 out of the 4 major elements of the earth.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, and I mean, the if you think about the major elements, I mean, that's nothing can truly say that it has conquered the major elements. Like what else?
Yeah.
Like if you look at every single thing that's out there, right? Their weakness is one of Mother Nature's strengths. And now you have something that's like, yeah, try me. Come on.
Yeah.
Except for
and then there's fire.
and then there's fire. You're just like, well.
I looked it up. I was like, well, what animal can like really, deal with fire? And it's like none. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Yeah. There's probably, I mean, there's got to be, I mean, can a cockroach cockroach like handle extreme heat? I know it can handle like a nuclear explosion.
Yeah, nuclear bomb.
Hey,
fallout. Long after we're gone, there's gonna be cockroaches.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, have you seen WALL-E? Duh.
There's this new
and
anime
they love
I started watching.
Twinkies. So
yes, I mean they love anything, Nikki. But there's this new anime I started watching called Terraformers, and with that, it's about shipping off cockroaches to Mars. But it was a couple thousand years later, and they ended up turning humanoid.
Yeah.
And then people had to go there and fight them with animal mechanics. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I feel it would be a cool thing to talk about later on, a different episode. But basically they embraced, Wildcrest essentially. And they took animal abilities and made it their own. They, bioengineered themselves in order to fight these, humanoid, super intelligent cockroaches.
Yeah.
So it's a really, good movie. But back to series. But anyway, get back to this. We can talk about our second one now. We talked about Kevlar and where it came from, its strengths.
Well, before we move on to that, let's check the comment. Let's see, what we've got going. I mean, I know that questions and you started kind of talking on this a little bit, and with that, you started to talk and we got distracted very quickly because I'm really good at distracting everybody from everything. But you said that if they had a size of a pencil, it could hold back a plane. Like that's insane. I mean,
the spider's strength,
like
in
comparison, I really wonder, like in comparison, like what size of a steel rope would that, or not rope, but like a steel wire, like that would be, it would take a lot to hold back a plane. That's just that was just kind of incredible to me.
Comparable to, like, the ropes they use to hold barges and ships and stuff in
that are like that big,
about this thick around.
And the spider's like, what's up, I got this.
Pencil.
Like,
that's insane.
Is it a number 2 pencil?
Yes.
Pre-sharpened? No.
Ticonderoga?
Yeah. So no, that's awesome. So okay, so segment 2 is
just 2 more things I'm gonna toss in.
Okay, let's do it.
About spider silk.
Yeah,
we've taken more than just Kevlar. Other things we've used and to replicate would be sutures, in the medical field, and parachutes. The ropes and stuff we use for our parachutes, because we don't want those to break. I mean, that'd be terrible.
Well, and
also, parachutes in general. I just thought about that. The whole thing about spiders flying, they create parachutes with their webs and they get carried away.
That's crazy.
So we got parachutes from spiders as well.
Well, and honestly too, if you think about, like, if you want to go into the technology side, like what do we surf online with? The World Wide Web.
Yes.
And why is it a web, right? It connects all things back to
all directions.
And so even in the technology side, like, of course, I'm building an AI business, an AI software company right now, and all of our stuff is based off of a spider. Like it's a web of information. Yes. We have one central hub, but if one connection breaks, we have 3 other paths and avenues to make sure that is, and I honestly think that it probably has a lot to do with the study of spiders, of creating those connections. And again, it's called the web for a reason, right? So we have spiders who can now parachute. So that's crazy. What other
Australia,
crikey. What other animals outside of like a bird, right? We all know birds can fly except for ostriches and penguins, but all of the other birds can pretty much fly. There's probably some other birds that can't fly, but I'm not an animal expert. But what are some other like crazy animals that can fly that we have then taken their abilities, their genetic, not necessarily genetics, but how they're built, and apply that to things that we use, not we, but people use every single day. I can say that there's a lot of things that are created that I don't use every day. So what are some of the other animals
to dive into? Segment 2. Our second animal is going to be, I would say, I'm gonna put a group out there, just because there's generally not one species, because they all have this ability. But I'm gonna say like sugar gliders, flying squirrels. Because of their gliding ability. We've taken that and we've made like diving suits. Is that what they're called? Not parachuting suits. Oh, flying suits. Wing suits. There we go. Wing suits. We've created wing suits off of their, design. Being able to, glide, and the difference in, comparability is they have tails and limbs that they use to change direction. We just change, how much weight we have on which side, lift a leg, move an arm. But it's the idea, that. Ooh, I'm just rolling right now.
No, I mean,
slow my brain down. I guess down.
I mean, but the reality of it is, like, the wingsuit, right? First off, we connect this back to the first one with the Kevlar and stuff. Like, the military has adapted this. I mean, if you look at government agencies look at animals and species and
daily,
develop technology, like high advanced technology based off of these. And the wingsuits, I mean, that's something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to put on a wingsuit.
Skydiving.
I think that would be like skydiving's one. Like there's a level to skydiving because I wouldn't say you're flying, you're free falling, but when you put on a wingsuit, you're like legitimately flying. And I think that would be
such a direction, go up, go down.
I think it would be such a cool experience to wingsuit, and hopefully someday I get the opportunity to wingsuit. And I mean, they use the wingsuits now on the indoor skydive things.
Yes. I want to try that. Yeah. I'm not, into skydiving because I don't know how that's going to turn out, but indoor skydiving, I would love to try that. The freedom of being able to fly.
Yeah.
Something I've never been able to do.
And you have the safety of a net, and you're only like 10 feet off the ground. So I don't know. That sounds fun to me, and I've wanted to do that. And your sister and I have talked a little bit about doing stuff like that. Yeah. But there's something so exhilarating about jumping out of a plane. Like you're just like, let's do it, let's go.
Funny thing that just hit me, and I realized between segment 1 and segment 2, both of these animals carry the military. Because when you think about when they're out, on their operations, everything, they're up in the chopper, they jump out with the wingsuit, and they skydive, and then they pull out a parachute. Yeah, I'm just wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and if you want to bring even more nature into that, then you have your seals.
Vest.
Well, I was going to say the seals. But the seals, they do their halo jumps, right? High altitude, low openings. And with that is where they use the wingsuits a lot, is those high altitudes. They'll jump from a plane that's 40,000 feet in the air, and they'll travel 100 miles from where that plane dropped them because of the wingsuits, right? It gives them the advantage of not being detected by radar, but it's really crazy.
Another animal, just to tie into the whole skydiving thing, because this is what our episode's about. Human technology, animal nature, the peregrine falcon. Okay, just because of their diving ability, they're the fastest animal,
in the world.
Yeah, in the world. Yeah, because they tuck their wings in and dive. That's what you do in skydiving. Yeah, you just tuck in, you go straight down.
That's what I do every time I play Fortnite.
Call of Duty. I was playing yesterday. Sit there, jump out the chopper, skydive. Yeah, parachute. It's just amazing how developed nature is.
100%, and we see it everywhere. Like we everywhere. We've put it into everything, whether that's Fortnite, whether that's the Call of Duty, whether
our military,
our military, like a real life experience, like it's everywhere. We see
paragliding, entertainment, fun.
100%. Well, and even going back to the spider silk side of things, like we have all of these safety retentions when you're doing work on high rises, or if you're in a sky lift or something like that, you're attached by these, you're attached by a very large spider silk.
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, I've seen spiders jump out of a damn tree, and then all of a sudden they're like bungee jumping without bungee jumping. So I mean, the examples are so they're used every single day, hundreds of millions of times a day, and it's crazy. So
it's just. I always say this on every episode, but it's amazing, nature's accomplishments.
Yeah.
And then as a human race, I feel it's amazing on our part being able to capitalize on that and learn from what's around us.
Yeah.
That's where I say, our adaptability comes in. We can take something and make it our own.
Yeah.
And I take pride in that, as being a human. I think animals are amazing.
Yes.
So
at our core, we're animals. We just are animals that have the ability to we evolve in multiple different ways using multiple different senses, where other animals, whether it's a spider or, I mean, a chameleon's a great example of evolving in different ways that are, quick adaptability, which, changing their colors, but we have the ability to do that. So
octopus.
Gamer King just sent us what about sounds like submarines. I mean, and that I think that goes back, first off, quick diving with the peregrine falcon. Right? We've got that. We talked about that other like crazy jellyfish.
Oh, the siphonophore. Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing. Submarines, they've studied a lot of fish, and I know that this is getting off a topic.
But, I mean, no, it's still on topic because we're talking about technology.
Yeah,
that came from nature. So,
but like one of the things, and I remember watching a River Monsters episode about the Greenland shark.
Yeah, the Greenland shark.
Yeah, like the Greenland shark, right? It lives at such extreme depths that we don't necessarily even have the technology to sustain that pressure, but yet it can come up to the surface and then dive right back down to that. But nature has a way of pretty well. I still believe megalodons exist. Like
I do too as well.
I've seen the movie Meg. And I think that it's 100% true because I mean I was talking about this with my company earlier today. Is like one of the reasons why my company's name is what it is because we want to represent the ocean. But part of that is constantly uncovering the secrets of what is possible.
Yeah.
And the ocean is, I would say,
it's a great example.
Oh, it's and honestly, there's so many mysteries to it. Like again, bioluminescence. Like, how does a fish light up? Like, it's creating enough electrical voltage.
That's where like the animals take over and their advancement. I feel this is in the title of this episode. How we can catch up, because with bioluminescence, their main component comes from chemical mixtures. So that's chemistry. I have to take that. I'm gonna struggle a little bit, but chemistry and science, things that we're still learning and trying to understand, that they've mastered and made their way of life.
No, I mean it's super, super cool. It's very complex. I mean, it's taken them millions of years to create it, and we're trying to replicate it in a matter of like 50 years. So it's pretty cool.
That's where entrepreneurs come in, where it's just like, okay, I see this. How are we gonna make this my own?
We will succeed.
We will succeed.
Yeah. So, what are some of the like when we talk about the flying squirrels and wingsuits and the developments that are being made, and they're constantly being made, and they're constantly being upgraded and made better. But what are some of the real world impacts that we as the human race have seen from wingsuits and flying squirrels and the development using technology, adding technology to what we see, whether it's bees, whether it's flying squirrels? I mean, what are some of the real world kind of impacts that we see with that?
I think another one we can get into is drones.
Okay.
We've modeled drones off of countless flying, animals, but with that, flying squirrels, sugar gliders and stuff. They're a big focus.
Okay.
Because of their, direction and everything.
Yeah.
Another big focus, I would say, off, flying animals that we've taken a lot from would be helicopters.
Okay.
Which are modeled off of hummingbirds and dragonflies.
Okay.
Because they can fly forwards, backwards, up, down, any direction they want, essentially.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing I always think about is like all of the carpenter bees that are at the farm, right? There's no way if physics do not apply to bumblebees and carpenter bees, because it's like, and honestly, physics don't apply to a helicopter. Like if you look at a true helicopter, you're like, there's no way that actually should stay in the air, because first off, the rotors are way too small to actually sustain that. But we took what we have learned from bumblebees and hummingbirds and dragonflies and all of those kind of things and said, how do we replicate this on a bigger scale? How do we take something that nature has perfected and change the application for us? I mean, and again, not trying to throw in a bunch of more animals or things, but it's like honeybees, right? Honeycomb. how many things have some type of a honeycomb design because it's so strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's really incredible what nature has created. So I'll get off of my soapbox and I'll let you take back control because I have.
I'm gonna hop on my soapbox now.
Okay, let's do it. All right, let's do it. I'm ready.
You know, I was just at band camp this last week.
Yes.
And we were doing like team games, you know, section games. I'm like section leader for my section, being low brass, being tubas, trombones. I play tenor saxophone.
Yeah.
And then we have a euphonium coming in, which is kind of like a big tuba.
Okay.
Like, not big tuba. I mean a big trumpet.
Big. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a big trumpet.
I've been around music my whole life, and I'm like, okay, who in the Dr. Seuss? And here is our euphonium.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a trumpet about that big. Pretty big. Pretty huge.
So Horton here's the euphonium.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
But
got it.
We were doing game time, you know, section games. Every team gets a point. And at the end of our week or whatever for band camp, the team with the most points got free Sonic drinks.
Nice.
We didn't win, unfortunately.
No.
But with that being, one of the games he did was who could build the tallest marshmallow spaghetti tower.
Okay.
And I remember I did this last year during my agriculture class where I learned about livestock, and that was a fun time. But something I remembered from kids movie I love watching, you know, for my nephew and niece, being the triangle is the strongest shape in nature. And that stuck to it. And I was like, okay, bet. And I remember, so I just started building triangles all the way up, and it was the most sturdy thing I've ever built. I don't plan on being an architecture, but I could build a pretty dang good building.
Yeah, I don't plan on being an architecture, but I can build a heck of a marshmallow and spaghetti tower.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
The structural integrity of it, you know, I was like, yes, this is what I am. This is what I do. Really,
that's awesome. That's awesome. So kind of, you know, we talked about spider silk and we talked about flying squirrels, but like to bring that, like, what do any of those have in common? Like, what is the common denominator between a flying squirrel and spider silk?
I would say humans seeing an opportunity to do what hasn't been done before.
Okay.
For our race, because, you know, we've seen other things where it's like the curiosity and ambition, you know, okay, wow, how's that happen? Let me see if I can do that myself.
Yeah.
How can we advance as a human, you know, as a race? So with that, you know, I'm throwing like one more, spiders again.
Okay.
The diving bell spider, because what they do is they use their silk to create basically a like scuba helmet, but they trap an air bubble so they can dive and they can breathe oxygen all they want.
That's insane.
So I would say that goes into, you know, scuba suits and everything, having air tanks and the mask and everything. I just feel nothing's new under the sun.
Yeah. And honestly, on our podcast that I just did, the Unplugged Unfiltered podcast.
I tuned in for that. It was fun. It was good. I loved it.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you.
Of course.
All one of our viewers. No, but with that honestly being said, like we just talked about, like, there's no such thing as a new idea, right? It's taking something, adapting it to what we need it to be or what we feel like there is a need for. And I think everything that you've kind of talked about, I mean, we talk about efficiency, right? Like we take like the flying squirrel, we take the wingsuit, and it creates a more efficient transportation or distance that we can travel from that. But the adaptability that comes from it, and then a lot of things end up getting turned into like energy saving designs. And so I think if you look at all of the stuff that we've talked about, like your big three things are efficiency, adaptability, and energy saving, because well, heck,
I'll say it goes back to when you're talking about with, you know, the human race and all these different, you know, branches we've taken and evolved as a human, you know, tools we've used.
Yeah.
I would say it opens new avenues, you know, having a wingsuit.
Yeah.
We couldn't fly before. Now we can, you know, travel, like you said, easier, go from mountain to mountain, you know, around mountain.
Yeah.
Just, it opens new opportunities and ideas.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So, I mean, my question to you is what are some of the future innovations that if we're looking at what has been innovated, like, and taking nature and taking some of these species and saying, okay, this has been done. There's still animals out here that aren't doing it. What are some of the future innovations that you see from the animals that we've talked about? And some of the animals maybe that we haven't talked about. What are some of those future innovations that you
like
that
innovations for us or for the animals?
For us.
Oh, for us. Okay. Like, what are some new things that we can really, well,
I mean, like a perfect example. So like you talked about drones, right? Drones came from hummingbirds, dragonflies, those kind of things, plus a wingsuit, right? So instead of it being one centralized helicopter, right, we've spread it out as a flying squirrel where we have 4 points of contact. And I know from the farm side, because we live on a farm, and we run a fully functioning farm, drones have become massive for agricultural purposes, spot spraying for weeds and pests and stuff like that,
checking on our herds.
Like there's so many capabilities that we're able to add, but to do that we've had to scale it to handle the loads that we're asking it to do. But what are some of the other things, like when it comes to armor, when it comes to the suits, when it comes to the drones, like what are some of the other kind of future innovations that you see maybe coming down the road that could be made from nature?
So get to like the armor. This isn't like armor, but pineapples.
Okay.
Now say that it kind of sounds a little random.
That sounds very random.
Pineapple skins are fire resistant.
Did not know that.
To the point like you could get blasted by a flamethrower and be perfectly fine.
So we found something in nature that is truly fire resistant.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, bringing that full circle.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Not an animal, but it is incredible.
Yeah. Okay. So pineapple is fire resistant. That okay.
Pineapples are fire resistant.
That's probably why they lasted on like all of the tropical islands where the volcanoes exist, because
they're fire resistant.
They're fire resistant, and with it being fire resistant, like it protects its seed and then okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Pineapples fire resistant.
So maybe firefighters have a pineapple based, or modeled after suit. Because I've seen, a couple unfortunate things happen in this world, being firefighters losing their lives to fires. And to prevent that, I feel that pineapples would be a good solution. Possibly, theoretically. Well, it could be a good solution.
And it's one of those, again, it's not necessarily being like, okay, I'm going to cover a firefighter in pineapple skin, right? But it's taking that and breaking it down.
Maybe the proteins.
And saying, okay, what inside of the pineapple what inside of the pineapple skin creates that fire resistance. I mean, that's cool, super cool. Gamer King 202 just asked another question here on YouTube. Do you have any animals that have lasers or similar capabilities? And I would say maybe not so much laser, and I'm not the expert by any means, but we talked about that one fish that could shoot water like 72,000 miles. It actually went around the earth twice and then hit a grasshopper. I think that's what I saw. Maybe that was, I don't know, maybe that was a crazy dream, but anyways, and then it actually found Amelia Earhart's plane, which was even crazier. But
just kidding. R.I.P. Kobe.
Yeah.
No. Much
love. About 6'7". Oh, dude, I had to throw that. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So with that, the fish you're talking about, the archer fish, being able to shoot water up to 6 feet, and hit a grasshopper off a leaf, the precision, it takes, being able to shoot that stream, that could be comparable to laser. Another one, which I wouldn't say in like the laser beam sense, but more of like the heat.
Yeah.
Medium to high lasers run around, I think, 4,000 to 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And something that, animal world that can compare to that is the pistol shrimp.
Yeah.
I told you their
100%.
atomic snap in the heat. It only lasts for but a millisecond, but the heat it creates is comparable to the sun.
Yeah.
The sun's surface being, I think, 10,000, just a little bit over 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And their snap, the heat it creates for that millisecond is about 8,775 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's comparable to the sun, with that, like the heat of a laser.
It's more than you would want to actually experience.
Oh, no. I looked it up, and I was like, okay, well, what damage should I do to a human? And it's just like with that millisecond, it would probably be like getting hit by a rubber band. Okay. But I'm just thinking about that much heat, that water and everything might leave a mark.
It would, and if you were to scale it from the size like that, it is comparable to what we are. Like if you were to have a pistol shrimp that was the size of us, that would be like, I mean, everyone's opened up their oven and like, oh dang, that's hot, right?
So I feel like that adds more warfare because that is an incredible weapon.
That would be. I mean, that would be.
The SEALs get a new plaything,
Yeah, I mean, just to be able to create that amount of heat that quickly, and that short
scale,
and not have like this massive destruction, because like you could create that, right, with some type of a nuclear device, right? You could create that, but then you have mass destruction everywhere. Like a pistol shrimp can do it in such small isolated areas.
Precision.
Yeah.
I watched a video where they sat there and they broke it down, and it essentially shoots a bullet. It's kind of like a V shape, a stream as it goes. And when they do their snap, it pushes the water, and it's something called not convection. Convection. That's another thing to do with heat. Vacuum. I'm just using vacuum. It creates a vacuum because of how fast it pushes the water away. It creates an air bubble. And when that bubble collapses because of the pressure being so far under the water on such a small scale, the sonic wave from it just shoots out forward, and whatever it hits, the energy is transferred to it. I was watching it. It was hunting another shrimp, and I'm going to compare this to kind of, scripture in a little bit of a way, because I remember watching The Prince of Egypt, and you didn't put the blood of the lamb on your door, it'll just sweep over and it's game over. It was just the way it was hit. It just got hit and then it just kind of fell over.
Okay.
It's like, dang, it's over, it's all gone in just a millisecond, a fraction of a second, and it's over.
Well, I mean, it's just the power that is created, and us being able to harness that. I think that there comes a level where, like, as humans, we don't need that much power.
We don't.
But it also creates substantial technological advances, because like if you can heat something up that quickly, right, that then takes a refining process of something that maybe you have to heat up for 12, 15, 20 hours and use up the amount of energy that it takes to heat that up. Brisket.
Oh man, the culinary advances, man.
The thing with brisket though is like you could heat it up that fast, but if you don't slow cook it, you're not getting the bark and you're not getting the flavor into it. There's some things that it's if it ain't broke, you don't fix it.
True that.
Now my brisket recipe has been broke for a while, so I do need to fix it, but
only thing you need to fix is when you make it. Oh man, I've had brisket forever.
I just don't have the 16 hours it takes to be dedicated, but I definitely will be happy to teach you.
Commend your entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, I will be happy to pass on my brisket recipe. And then we can all enjoy brisket because you're willing to dedicate 16 hours.
Of course.
So awesome.
It's getting a little close to the end of the podcast. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, but it's super cool, and honestly, if whoever's watching this, shoot a comment to Joystick Jungle and throw out something that you go, okay, here's an animal, here's an invention, here's innovation that has become possible because of what we've studied in nature, because we Jason, I know, would love to see that. And I think that maybe next week when we come back to do our next week of Joystick Jungle, it'd be fun to say like, okay, out of these animals, here came these innovations. Here came some of these. So my challenge to everybody out there is whoever's watching, whoever is watching the live right now, anybody who watches the recording of this, send in one animal and one innovation. Or if you can't think of the innovation, send in an animal. And honestly, send in the most obscure animal that you can think of. And we'll see
most random things on NCR, and we'll find our technological similarities.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find the innovation that has come along with that animal, because I think that'd be a super fun challenge. But no, this has been a great podcast. Honestly, there was a lot of crazy.
I'll do you
stuff.
One better.
Okay.
Send in your favorite animal.
Yeah,
and I'll bring facts on it.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
So whatever animal you like, something you enjoy, something you want to learn more about, and I'll go and I'll do that research and I'll bring everything to you. Perfect. You can learn.
Yeti. Go.
Yeti. All right.
Abominable. I know everything I need to know. I've watched Abominable 1,000 times. But no, dude, it's honestly been a great podcast. It's been fun. I
lost track of time.
I've learned way more than
the average American.
The average American, yeah. Well, that's not hard. No, on a Wednesday night, it's not hard to learn more than the average American. But yeah, no, this has been fun, man, and I appreciate you all constantly having me on.
Yeah, of course.
I know I am a co-host to be dealt with because I'm like, ooh, squirrel, shiny object. But
well, that makes two of us. So, it really works out.
Yeah, no, it's super fun, and I do enjoy doing these with you. So. But I'm looking forward to next week. Next week's going to be fun. Yes. And
next week's going to be a banger.
And I will tell you guys, next week, by Wednesday of next week, Joystick Jungle and DJ's Farming and Fishing and all of his other things are going to have a different scenery with some really cool content.
Yeah.
So check out all of his other pages. Check out all of his social medias. And see if you can guess the biome that we're in for next week.
Ooh, yes.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Have like a different theme every week,
Yeah. And just use, we are going to be in a completely different setting next week than what we are this week.
True that.
The podcast studio we will not be in the podcast studio next week. We're going to be on location, live action news on location. Honestly, it might be fun to actually do it not inside, but outside somewhere.
That'd be great.
Might have to change the time so we have the lighting. Yeah. But that'd be fun. So check it out. Send him crazy animals. He'll research it. He'll come back to things with that. We've done innovations on it, all of the facts, the fun, crazy stuff. But it's been a great podcast.
It's been a great podcast. It's getting a little later tonight. We got a couple more things we got to do.
Yes.
With this, thank you for everybody who showed up today. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. You sat here and grown with me on this podcast. It's been about a month and a half now.
Yes.
We're on episode 8.
I 2 more and you're at 10, and I'm so pumped for him to hit 10 because 98%.
Dang, 98
podcasts that start never make it to episode 10. So we have 2 more. And then you have beat 98% of other podcasts that have started. So super excited. We'll get some like little confetti poppers or something.
Yes, confetti poppers.
Actually, we won't do that because I don't want to clean up the mess. But
I'll clean it up.
Perfect. We're getting confetti poppers.
Yes.
So awesome.
Thank you for coming. The Joystick Jungle podcast. Me and Brian have been having such a great time. And toodaloo.
We'll see you all next week.
Yeah.